What up, everybody? This is the latest edition of the Shukri Wrights Podcast with your host and the most hated Yankee fan in Boston, Shukri Wrights. I don't know any other way to start the podcast other than making that note because of the amount of people who have attempted to either poke fun or rip me for being a Yankee fan or completely decided to unfollow me on Twitter, which I don't give a rat's behind. But that's neither here or there. Caylee Allard, the sweetheart that she is, she joins the podcast again for the first time since the unforgettable rants that I did. Was it 2 months ago?
It was after the Bruins got eliminated, I believe.
Yeah, it was about 2 months ago. But
we had a lot to say.
Yeah, I had a lot to say, but welcome back. You have a lot to say.
Yes, thank you for having me back. We are in the same boat. We're on split sides of, a little rivalry. So I can't wait to talk with someone who's a little bit like-minded, even though we don't agree on every team. But that's okay.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's totally understandable when you still got 6 rings. So but that
we'll get to that later.
But for now, starting on a friendly note, Red Sox Yankees. You never get tired of talking about it. But if these 3 games have served as any sort of indication as for where these teams are right now, what is your takeaway based upon the 3-game series you saw against the Red Sox as it pertains to the New York Yankees?
Honestly, I was mad at the Yankees just like everyone else. I was definitely trashing them in June and July. I was like, this is embarrassing. Like, I miss when we had the core 4. I miss when we were able to close out games. Like, yeah, I was frustrated because as Yankees fans, like, we hold them to the highest standard.
Yes.
I mean, it's the same for Boston. New York and Boston, you could not beat New York or Boston sports. The fans are passionate, we're spoiled, and we want to win. So I was trashing them. I was like, I don't even want them to make the postseason because what's the point? A first round exit, a wild card exit? I don't want that. But I was like, all right, I calmed myself down. I said, there's plenty of baseball. It is such a long season. There's games every day. Like it's all right. And of course, Red Sox fans were coming at me. I actually tweeted after the trades with Rizzo and Gallo, I tweeted the Yankees are back, and a Red Sox fan tweeted at me, yeah, 9 games back. And I said, for now. And I brought that up today. So I was super nervous for this series because number one, I didn't want to hear the flack or I didn't want to get roasted anymore. And 2, this was the biggest series of the season so far, not just because of the rivalry, but because of the standings situation and the wild card situation. And we're getting to the end of August, so we're kind of in crunch time. So I was shocked. This looks like a completely different team. I mean, I was like, even if we take 1 against Boston, I'll be happy. Like, we just got to keep that race going. We got to creep up towards them some more. But 3 wins, I mean, to get second in the AL East, like I was blown away. I was nervous, but I am talking all the smack now because we deserve it.
I've come to bring hot fire to Twitter, but clearly it's angered enough people where I've said, you know what? Hold this energy, hold this L, because more than 3/4 of you people, yes, you people, Red Sox Nation, were running your mouth a month ago. Oh, this division's done. Oh, everything's all wrapped up. We got the best record of the American League until Chaim Bloom decided to be the guy who absolutely craps in the fruit of Bloom underwear, and he did by not making any moves that actually could have helped the Red Sox at the trade deadline. Oh, by the way, thank you very much for not going after Rizzo. Thank you very much, because we saw literally how valuable he is with both the bat and the glove. And man, if you went back to the end of July and I asked you which team was going to be more likely to land Anthony Rizzo, the Yankees or the Red Sox, who would you have picked? Most people would have thought the Red Sox. Most of the national pundits had the Red Sox. But Chaim Bloom said, no. We don't need Rizzo. Oh, okay. Here come the Yankees. We swoop in literally at the last minute. It was like, wait, what? We got who? Rizzo? Oh. And now the Red Sox, they're stuck with good old Bobby Dahlbeck. How does that sound?
He had a great game last night.
He had a phenomenal game. In fact, Caylee, why don't you tell me about that game? How did it go?
It was great. Yeah, I don't know if you guys watched last night, but the Red Sox got beat by Andrew Heaney. So
of all people, Andrew Heaney, ladies and gentlemen, was a starting pitcher with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We acquired him for next to nothing. Him? You let him beat you?
The Hean man of all people. It wasn't Garrett Cole. It was Andrew Heaney.
It's like, wow.
And Red Sox fans, as always, they were high and mighty. They were confident. I saw on Twitter all day, like, oh, if we don't beat Heaney, like, yeah, right. Like, and when someone was like, oh, I'm going to kill myself if we lose to Andrew Heaney, like, but no way it's happening. Like, easy win. They're not going to sweep, whatever. Like, you know, they're always like, they're always out there. They're like birds hanging from a tree. Yeah. They talk. But then after it's like, where are you at? Like, where?
Silence.
Did you watch the game? I'm pretty sure you watched it because you were tweeting about it.
Exactly.
You tweeted "fuck the Yankees," so I know you watched it. But yes, Andrew Heaney, that phenomenal performance, and I think the Red Sox. I don't know. I guess it's their pitching. I mean, we don't have a great bullpen either, but I can't exactly pinpoint what they need to do better. I mean, like you said, they didn't really acquire any big pieces at the trade deadline. I don't know if they got overconfident because they weren't supposed to do good this season anyways.
It's a multitude of issues.
The Red Sox, what did they put in their bio?
Oh, that's right.
Right.
In fact, no. I'm going to pull it up right now because I absolutely forgot what it said verbatim. But because I got time, I'm going to absolutely have a field day with this. So back on July 4th, you had something, I'm talking about you, the Red Sox, you had something along the lines of, what was that again? Oh, that's right. Remember your tweets from the first week of the season? We do. And baseball is the ultimate sport where there is karma. This is it. This is karma, literally. Ever since that day, you had that bio on your Twitter page. You've gone 16 and 22. You're off as of Thursday night. You're back. What a meaningless series against the Texas Rangers beginning Friday. But man, if that didn't piss off whatever energy in the universe, it sure has come back because since the trade deadline, the Yankees, what are they? Oh, that's right. They're trying to remember, 16-4. That's right. And your record, you're well below 500. And since July, actually, I'm gonna pull it up again because I like to make sure I got my facts right.
I would say the Red Sox should delete that.
16-22 exactly. So
that's a losing record, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I'm no mathematician, but that doesn't sound too good. I don't know. They might want to check that.
Then if you were a mathematician, you would have somehow managed to get at least close enough. But 16-22 with an offense that leave more runners on base than traffic on the Grand Central Parkway at rush hour. You surrender more runs like in a game than the damn crowded in train at rush hour. And there's all New York references for those of you who are non-New Yorkers. And really, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? It's not just one particular issue that has plagued this team. Bullpen, they have absolutely been atrocious. Started pitching. You had to put Martin Perez and Garrett Richards in the bullpen. That's how bad they've been. Like, seriously, what does that tell you? Like, don't come at me because, well, look at the Yankees. They spent $200 million. Bleh, shut up. Shut up, because you have money too. Your front office decided they want to be more cheap than freaking rent centers in the middle of freaking Bridgewater. That's not my problem. Blame ownership. Blame that weak ass PR statement that was put out by John Henry, and blame Hein Bloom for not growing a pair to actually address the need. So guess what? This is your end result. Don't be mad at Cashman and the Yankees because we decided to use our resources. You look weak.
That's always their excuse. They're the evil empire. Like they buy all their players. They buy their way to the World Series or whatever. I'm like, the Yankees haven't been in the World Series in over a decade. What are you talking about? If they were cheating or just using their money, don't you think we'd make it further every year? And aren't you supposed to use your freaking money?
Exactly.
Like what? I never got that argument. Oh, they just buy their way in. I'm like, and like,
I mean, 09 it worked.
Isn't that the point, to buy good players and give them good contracts so you can get ahead of everyone else? Like,
exactly.
And then the Red Sox didn't do anything at the deadline. And
they're up 6-0, by the way.
The Sox?
No. The
Oh no, the Sox don't play tonight, right?
Oh, yeah, they're off. They're up 6-0. I just had to do a quick glance. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Did Kyle Higashioka just went deep? I'm sorry. But giving you the update. But yes, go ahead.
And also the Yankees we're getting to the point where everyone is starting to show up and do their part. Like the Patriots say, do your job.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Great one.
I had to bust out that phrase,
Thank you. It won my part.
Because like, what about the Bronx kid, Velasquez?
Oh, like, Andrew Velasquez. Oh my God. That dude has been clutch.
Him. Yes.
Clutch. The true definition of hometown hero. That is literally Velasquez last night. And I think he's going to be an important piece for this team moving forward, especially as we approach September. Are you kidding me? We're about to hit September. Like, can you believe that?
This is crunch time, and there's plenty of baseball left. But if the Yankees can keep this hot streak, I think they play Boston one more time, which I think it's towards the end of the month, which will be super interesting.
September, yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be a crazy series because that's going to be crunch time. But the only player I really have a complaint about right now is who I always complain about, and that's Chapman. I mean, I know the guy just got off the COVID list.
My patience ran out.
Before he had COVID, I will give it to him. He looked good. And by looking good, I mean, he wasn't actually blowing games, which is the bare minimum that we ask from him. But every time he gets up, how do you have a closer that makes you nervous and practically gives you a stroke every time you see him walk out? Like it always comes down to the Yankees, to the ninth inning. There's, a walk, you walk in a runner, or last night they hit a home run off him.
On a Renfroe with that 456-foot bomb.
Renfroe hit a bomb off him, and Chapman just sits there. It's like, dude, what has to change to get his head in the game? Like, I don't know what his contract situation is or what the Yankees' future plans for him are, but he's the only one that I'm like, this guy has to go. Like, you've had plenty of chances. I just can't do it anymore. I can't take that ninth inning anxiety. I know that. Like,
we didn't have that for 19 years with Rivera, did we?
But that's like, maybe, is it because I'm spoiled and because
we're all spoiled? Yeah.
The Sandman would come in and like, even if the Yankees were just winning 2-1, you knew he was not going to let a run in unless someone happened to hit a bomb off him. You're like, Rivera, good night, goodbye, win. Like, I don't know, like, he needs to figure it out. And when he gives up a walk-off home run, he smiles. And that's what pisses me off. He smiles.
Reference to Game 6 of the 2019 LCS.
Yes. He's literally a meme. And they don't see an issue with that. He is the only one that I feel like could cost us right now. And that makes me so uneasy, because how do you have a closer who might cost you your games? Will more than likely cost you.
And the worst part is that it's confidence. It's not even a matter of contract. Confidence is completely, utterly shot. This has been the story of Chapman in 2021. It's not even just that he just got back from COVID, but before that, he really cost the Yankees a handful of games in the ninth inning, and it was really tough to absolutely watch because all I kept thinking was, this is someone who is being paid a lot of money to get these key important outs late in ball games, and he's not even doing the job, or not doing the job as well as he should be. And if there is one concern that I do have about this team moving into September, and that is state of the bullpen. You had Zach Britton asked to be removed from the closer's role. That's not a good sign. When a pitcher is asking to be removed from the closer role, that tells me that his confidence is shaken and that he absolutely does not feel comfortable in that role. I mean, you can go back to last week's Field of Dreams game against the White Sox. That was literally the case. Gives up the leadoff walk and then gives up the walk-off two-run homer to Tim Anderson. And it's one of those things where it's like, dude, really? Damn. You had one job, just one job, and you couldn't do it.
Your job.
Like, thank you for the Patriots reference yet again. Something the Giants could learn from. But anyway, so
I agree. Please do. I hope they do a good job for once.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to be nice in that respect, but it's kind of hard to.
Are we transitioning into football, or are we gonna stay on the same page with the Yankees for now?
I mean, we could, but nah, not going to. But hockey, man, I saw the news today about the city of Glendale, Arizona, not deciding to renew its contract and its lease with the Arizona Coyotes, which means the 2021-22 season will be the last one at Gila Arena I believe it's in Glendale. So my question to you is this: because the Coyotes, they are about to be without a home, and they don't have an arena that's under construction, where do you see this team going, and what type of move do you see this franchise making over the course of the next 12 months, considering the situation that they're in?
Well, I never really understood why they moved away from Phoenix.
Great point.
I don't know. I mean, I've never been to Arizona, but I don't know how Glendale is any better than Phoenix. Mm-hmm. I've heard it's a pretty irrelevant town. And I heard people saying that people that were in Phoenix that were fans don't want to drive to Glendale for games. So I don't know if there's a midpoint in the state that they can move to, mm-hmm. or I don't know if maybe this is the end of the Coyotes franchise and this is kind of the beginning of the end. But yeah, I just don't understand the logic that went behind moving away from Phoenix. I mean, that's the hub, like that's your city. I mean, do you know like of any talks of what town they might move to, or because it is kind of weird. It's kind of like the Islanders situation, how they're moving from the Coliseum, but it is kind of,
speaking of which,
like the Islanders aren't going anywhere, but the Coyotes.
Speaking of which, you made a point that I want to add to real quick. Because of the construction of the new UBS arena in Belmont, they're starting the season on a historic 13-game road trip. They won't start the season at home until check the schedule. I'm serious. They won't have the first home game until mid-November. I'm not kidding. So when the NHL released its schedule for all of its 1,300 plus, nearly 1,400 game regular season slate, and they highlighted that the Islanders, they're not going to have their home opener until sometime mid-November. They're starting the first 13 games of the season on the road. I couldn't even begin to imagine if you're the players. And if you're Lou Lamoriello, you got to be pissed. Like, he was pissed, like, according to reports, because it was like, are you kidding me? Like, 13 games, and then but like the Coyotes find themselves in a much far worse situation. I mean, the Islanders, they're about to have a brand new arena. Coyotes, they're not going to have a home in a year. And I just have a really difficult time believing that they're going to have somewhere to play, even if it's on a temporary basis in the state of Arizona. So this is going to be a situation that's going to be worth keeping an eye out on during the course of the upcoming season. But in terms of hockey, I want to turn over to the Bruins because it's a slow news day, very slow news day. And I know you love Tuukka. I know he's your man crush and all. I get it. However, however, I tweeted something before the recording in which that I said I have been a critic of Tuukka for a while, but I don't hate the man. But the hate towards him, I don't really dig or understand. So I'll ask you this because I'm gonna throw you a hittable change up here. Why, for the life of me, should I have any sort of malice towards the guy? I mean, yes, Tuukka has corrupted himself in more meaningful games than we both can remember in the last 8 years. However, the hate towards him in this market is absolutely it's really mind-boggling. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, I will try not to be biased, but
yeah. Good luck.
My thing is that Boston fans are all very spoiled, just like New York fans. And when Tim Thomas won that 2011 Stanley Cup and put on that performance, that was something we have not seen in recent history and still have yet to see. He won the Conn Smythe. His style of play is just so different. He was incredible. I had a Tim Thomas jersey. I absolutely love the guy too. I love goalies. I love goalies. Okay. They're my favorite. I love watching them. I just have the utmost respect for all of them. I feel like they have the hardest job on the team. But anyways, I feel like once Tuukka transitioned into the starting role, once Boston gets a championship, they're hungry for another one. One is never enough. It's title town. It's like, okay, like we better get rolling. You're going to be the starter. You better not underperform. You better please me. And that's just how people think, which is fine. I get the passion. I get the need and the want to win, but people are so spoiled and so used to him and so jaded that they don't realize how much worse our goaltending situation can be. In my humble opinion, the Bruins have never had a goaltending issue since like the early 2000s. And I was even a little too young to remember that. But yeah, so they're just spoiled with goaltending and I always bring it back to Tristan Jarry because that guy is terrible. I mean, Tuukka and Halak for real, that guy cannot win. I'm surprised he wins one playoff game, let alone, Tuukka can't win a series or Tuukka can't win the cup, whatever. But the Bruins always have a solid duo. Like Halak could be a starting goaltender elsewhere, and he just might. And now we're transitioning. We got Ullmark, which is amazing, who can be the starter with Swayman as the backup. So the Bruins have always been set in goaltending. And Robin Lehner, the Vegas goaltender, he was just asked on Twitter the other day, a fan asked him, who are your top 5 goalies in the league as of right now? And Tuukka was one of them. And he also had Vasilevsky in there too.
Rightfully so.
Who's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion back-to-back years, who also won the Vezina. And so my point is people are not going to realize the loss of Tuukka until he is gone. I'm not saying Swayman won't be great. I love Swayman. I think he's going to be a great replacement. But if you look at the guy's stats, if you look at the guy's saves, if you look at the goals against average, I mean, he's an animal. Yes, he has not won a Stanley Cup, but it's not just his fault. He's not a one-man band. Things happen. In my opinion, the last 2 Stanley Cup losses were flukes. They were terrible ways and very painful ways to lose. Tuukka can't do it all. And mark my words, when he is gone, I will throw it back in everyone's faces because you don't know what you have until it's gone. And it's very hard. You don't come around goaltenders like him
often.
So often.
Yeah.
So that's my opinion.
It's very difficult to find an elite goaltender. Like, look at the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, he was originally a product of the Toronto Maple Leaf system, and they traded him for freaking Andrew Raycroft. Let me know how that worked. So,
Sorry, Raycroft, but thank God.
like nothing personal against Andrew Raycroft, cool guy and all. But with that being said, it really is a classic case of you don't know what you have until it's gone. And as far as the New York Giants went, I'm pretty sure that applied when it came to Eli Manning. But Eli Manning was a turnover machine at the end of his career. But what do I know? But as far as the 2021 state of the team is concerned, what are three things that you're most looking forward to seeing as it pertains to the New York Giants? For me, is without question the return of Saquon Barkley and his health, and can he stay healthy and be the running back that he was prior to 2020?
Yeah, I mean, my main things obviously are Saquon returning, because without him healthy, I don't know who Daniel Jones is going to throw to. I mean, he likes to throw to the other team anyways, but I guess that
Eli-esque.
that's remained to be seen. But yeah, it's mainly Saquon getting back and staying healthy. I know his rehab has been going well, but after serious injuries like that, you never know how a player is going to return.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of reminds me of an OBJ situation in a way with, he's dealt with injuries as well, and he's always trying to come back stronger. But I pray to God Saquon will be 100% for the season. And it also comes down, so Saquon's key piece, obviously Danny Dimes. I hate even calling him that.
Oh, God. Why?
Like Danny Pennies or Danny Nichols. But
that's more like it. Danny Dimes, like, no. He throws loose change to the other team. Like, no. He's not Danny Dimes.
Yeah, he throws dimes to the other team. The other team probably coined that nickname.
Pick six. Pick six city. Pick six. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, but so yeah, it comes down to DJ too. I mean, I love the kid. He's kind of like a Walmart version of Eli Manning.
Wow.
Am I wrong though?
You really said Walmart version of Eli Manning.
Am I wrong?
Wow. I mean, damn. I mean, I've heard harsh criticism, but Walmart version of Eli Manning. Okay, Caylee. I mean, gosh, is this Mean Girls coming out of you right now? Like, or like, dang. I mean, you could be a little nicer, but no.
I've had enough. I saw two Super Bowls and I want more, and they haven't been the same since.
Blame the Giants for firing Tom Coughlin. That was a bad move.
Yes, I agree 100%. But Joe Judge, I absolutely love their coach now, Judge. I think he has great chemistry with the players. He wants to get the job done. He seems like a super nice guy, but also like no bullshit kind of guy. I think he's smart. I mean, I like what I've seen from him so far. But Tom Coughlin, OG, I will always love and respect him for what he did for the Giants. But I mean, like I said, Walmart version of Eli. DJ.
I'm sorry.
DJ.
That tickles me. It really does.
Whatever you want to call him. Dollar General Jones. This is what I'm going to call him. Walmart, Dollar General, same thing.
He's more cheaper than loose change at the bottom of a fountain. Damn, okay.
But I'm just frustrated. I've given him enough chances. I mean, I guess he also really hasn't had the weapons to work with, which I think the Giants did very well in the draft. I'm really excited to see, I'm probably going to butcher his name, but I think it's Kadarius Toney. Their new wide receiver. There's been a lot of talk around him, and he was one of the best at where did he play? I have to look him up. He went to, where did he go?
I don't remember what college he went to. It's like Kadarius.
Yeah,
Thomas.
where did he go? Well, anyways, he was really Florida Gators.
University of Florida.
Yeah, he was one of their best wide receivers, and I don't know. I think he's going to add a lot to the team. So, three key pieces for me are Kadarius Toney, Daniel Jones, and Saquon. Those are the three guys that really need to perform. Oh, and Evan Engram. He cannot drop the ball anymore.
Evan Ingram, I don't know what happened. Like the first year that he was in the league, like he was actually a pretty solid tight end, but now he's become
Yeah,
drop city. Like he's dropping hot, cold dime passes.
Butterfinger.
Like I mean, goodness grief, like what's happened with him? But also, Stolen Shepard, like what's the deal with him?
I don't know. He kind of fell off too. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if it's like maybe a nagging injury or it's a confidence issue or
Mhm.
I truly don't know what the issue is with him, but he kind of fell into the backlight as well.
Yeah.
I feel like the Giants do have good names like him and good pieces to work with, but they haven't been able to execute.
Yeah.
And it's really frustrating because when your team is in the worst division in the league and you can't even make the playoffs, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that is unbelievably frustrating.
2020, you had an
The Giants
opportunity.
the Giants just needed the Eagles to win and they threw the game. They threw the game this
Blame Doug
year.
Peterson.
I would have seen a playoff for I mean,
Like
yeah, what do you why if it comes down to Philly, relying on Philly, you're screwed from the
never.
start.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That was
poverty
this.
franchise.
Mm-hmm.
At least I'm not an Eagles or Cowboys fan. I'm glad I'm a Giants fan looking at the other NFC East teams because, oh man, Washington football team, you don't even have a name, which I understand, but you don't have a name.
You
The
got
Cowboys
Ryan.
have been the
But
laughing
speaking of the
stock of
Redskins,
the
real
league.
quick, they acquired Ryan Fitzpatrick to be the quarterback, which kind of
Mm-hmm.
should tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
But as you were saying, my apologies.
Yeah, no, I'm just I gotta stop talking anyway. I could ramble about them forever because they're the team that
But that was the
they're the team that's
point.
caused me in the past few years, and I'm sick of it. And I don't know.
So
I always go into a confident. Like I was like,
yeah.
we're gonna go 13-4 this year. We have 17 games now. We have one
Did you
extra
just say the
game. I was
Giants were
telling
going
myself,
13-4?
yeah, because I said I'm done. I'm done hating on them, and I'm gonna be confident now. See how ridiculous I sound? That's why I'm usually negative. Because see how stupid I sound saying that?
At least you're honest.
Exactly. Exactly.
I just wanted you to know that at
That
least
is
you're
that
honest.
is my
Like,
point.
wow, the Giants going 13-4.
But enough, because I will rant about the Giants forever in that stupid division. So let's hear your
I mean, the Patriots.
Patriot summary,
I mean,
future summary. What do you think of Mac?
Mike Jones looks like he has an opportunity to become really good at being a quarterback in the NFL. But now it's 19-0. Oh wow. And Mac Jones, I really like what I've seen so far, what I've read, but at the same time, also recognize that there are things that he has to like grow in terms of his development as a quarterback, and understandably so. But I feel like with Mac Jones is that he still has some growing to do. I mean, he's looked really tremendous so far. I want him to be the guy to start, but I also would understand if he sat for like the first few weeks and so forth. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But it's been like the dominating topic like throughout this last month plus. Cam Newton or Mac Jones. Cam Newton or Mac Jones. And I'm just like, all right, let's go. Come on. Like I'm tired of having this conversation about who's going to be the starter and whatnot. But one last question I'll ask you. Looking ahead to the NHL season that's starting up in a few weeks, training camp will be here, which is hard to believe. I'm just like, look, I'm ready. Like, let's go. And
You
there's
know
a
I'm a
lot.
hockey girl more than anything, so I'm so hyped.
Oh, I know, as you should be, as you should be.
Hockey's
However, your thoughts on who should be the second line center for the Boston Bruins since David Krejci has opted to return home to his native Czech Republic. I have not had the opportunity to really ask you your opinion. Now, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity now and give you the floor to give me your unfiltered thoughts. Like you're ready to get
I forgot
emotional.
about like you
Oh,
just like reminded me that Krejci is gone, and I just like
Yeah.
I relived it all. Like I'm just so like it doesn't feel real. It's gonna
Mm.
be like I'm not gonna process it, and it's not gonna sink in until probably like the first month of the season goes by. But
Oh
I won't get
gosh,
myself
yeah.
all depressed. But I think from a coach's standpoint, the logical thing is gonna have to be Charlie Coyle. And I
It's hard.
you gotta at least give him a chance. He hasn't like he's had a breakout, but then he goes quiet again, and he kind of is like a Jake DeBrusk. Like he can be great, but he hasn't been given the tools to be great, and he hasn't reached his peak yet. And I mean, he's a great guy. I love Charlie. I feel like he has grit, and I feel like this could either be a really good thing, like, hey, this is your last chance to prove yourself. Not that anyone could easily fill Krejci's shoes,
Mhm.
but this is your chance to really prove to us that you can be a second line center and fill that gap. Because when you have Taylor Hall and Craig Smith now, they had such a great top six, finally,
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
one season.
Yeah.
And obviously nothing came out of it. We didn't win a cup, whatever.
Mm.
But the chemistry was finally there. I mean, they exceeded my expectations. While the Islanders series was very frustrating, they exceeded my expectations with how things went after the trade deadline, acquiring Hall and everything.
Mhm.
So I think you're going to have to give it to Charlie Coyle because he's above Jack Studnicka. But I'm guessing if things don't work with Coyle, they might slot Studnicka in there and switch both of them out to see who has the better chemistry, to see who has, to see who has the confidence. And I think it's going to be a battle between those two. But I think you have to start with Charlie Coyle because he's been here, he has the experience, and he needs to prove himself. Like, it's like, dude, this is your shot. Shut all the haters up,
Oh yeah.
do your thing. So I think we're going to see Coyle there. And then maybe depending on how things go, they'll throw Studnicka in there. Studnicka's only 22, but it's a toss up. I don't know. No one can replace Krejci. So it's hard. It's going to be hard to watch.
I think Sonika should be the guy. And I just think that also, like Charlie Coyle, I don't doubt his ability to be a second line center, but I just think that he's better suited for that third line. And like, listen, you bring Nick Foligno in, and he's probably gonna be your fourth line guy and whatnot. And like bottom six, that's what he was brought here for. But I think ultimately one of the things that I do really look at is where do the Bruins go from here? Because the easy answer would be to go Charlie Coyle, yeah, but I also look at fit. Where does he fit in this lineup? He's better suited on the third line. You give Sedinka the opportunity. This is his best chance to crack the Bruins lineup on a full-time basis. And if Krejci comes back at some point, then great. If not, it's been a blast. It's been wonderful. But I also understand the thinking by Bruce Cassidy. But I'm hoping that Don Sweeney could, if he wants to look outside of the organization, maybe make one last move to address that top six, having that a centerman for that second line. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I would not be upset if Studnicka was a second line center. I'm just assuming that that is who they will go with, which is Coyle, from like the coach's standpoint, and promoting him from within to bump up to 2C. But I would like either there. I'd love to see what Studnicka has. I think he's good as a player. I think he really hasn't had a fair chance yet. So giving him this fair chance will show us what he's able to do and see if he could break out. And it might even be good to start Studnicka at the beginning of the season. So if he does not perform, you can switch Coyle instead of later down the line putting Studnicka in there and then you find out he's not a good fit. So I'm hoping maybe he'll switch them back and forth, give them a chance to like fit in and get used to it. But I don't know. The timing of it is so sad and upsetting because Don Sweeney, I have so many mixed emotions about him, but it's so frustrating that he waited this long to give Krejci a winger, a competent winger with Taylor Hall. And they had so much chemistry. And Taylor Hall was saying how great it is to play with him and how it's so easy to communicate with him. And they just have the passing ability and the scoring ability. And it's like, it's just really painful. Okay.
It really is. Like,
it sucks.
I mean, that's why I feel like whoever ends up being the second line center for the Bruins, I think the biggest responsibility is going to be make sure that you're able to connect with both Craig Smith on the right side and obviously with Taylor Hall on the left side as well. So that remains to be seen. But we have about a month until preseason starts. I think first preseason game, I believe, is the 26th. I'm actually going to double check that right now. Bruins, yeah, like a little more than a month, but I'm like ready for preseason. Like I'm actually chomping at the bits. I miss hockey. Like come on, like let's go. Like I'm ready. And just seeing that the Bruins open up a brand new like rink park in the North End. Yeah. I was like, okay, can hockey season come back already? Like, thanks. Like, not rushing the summer at all or anything like that, but yeah, it is sometime in late September when the Bruins preseason slate does begin. But I'm ready for like that first day when the Bruins return to Warrior Ice and you see like the Bruins, begin to get in shape for the upcoming season. I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, I'm super upset about the loss of Krejci, and it's going to be interesting to get out because of his surgery. But I think the Bruins made some really good trade deadline moves. I mean, they could be busts. I guess we'll find out. But I think Sweeney was dialed in and he knew exactly what he needed. He did the best he could without overpaying for anyone. He even solved the goaltending issue for now. So it's going to be super interesting to see these, 4 new faces come in. So I'm nervous, mainly just because of Krejci, but I'm also very optimistic. And I think it's going to be interesting. That's the word I have for it. It's going to be interesting. And I'm really excited to see how everyone's going to fit in with the new faces and the chemistry. So hopefully we have another run in our system because I'm not ready to see the core retire, and that's going to be really hard. So we got to get another run in there.
Absolutely. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And on that note, I want to say thank you immensely for dealing with my shenanigans and my pain in the ass for the evening. Always appreciate it. And I am getting really tired of waiting for hockey return. So I'm just like, let's go. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, hopefully the Yankees will be in the World Series by the time the Bruins get their stuff going. So
that would be perfect.
We'll be flipping in between both teams, and then obviously football too. So hopefully we'll be busy.
Absolutely. Definitely. My pleasure. Caylee Allard, contributor for Causeway Crowded on Fanside. Thank you immensely for returning back on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
No doubt.